Hello, everyone. We hope that you are having a great Wednesday. This is Joel. I'm joined by or with Paige. Paige, are you on the line?
I am. Good afternoon.
Perfect. So, welcome to this week's Wednesday webinar. We are focusing in on Strive. We're going to be doing Strive Update Showcase, focusing on professional development today. And I'm going to tell you, we have some really cool stuff to show, some really good stuff. Both Paige and I, in our previous careers before coming to Eduphoria, worked in school districts. We are users of a workshop, and there's some things that are being shown today that are like amazing. That makes me wonder if I was in a district, I would be so happy with what's coming. So we're going to show you that today. Just to lay some groundwork for what we're doing, there's our pictures. So I'm Joel, I'm on the right side, and Paige is on the left. And we are going to be your hosts today. We usually have a third person with us, Shanna, but she is in meetings. She's not going to be able to join us. If I'm talking, Paige can answer questions, and if Paige is talking, I can try to answer questions, but I usually wait till she comes back to ask, are there any questions? So she can show on the screen. So if you do have any questions, in the little GoToWebinar box, there's a question section. You can post questions. You can post your woohoos in there too. And that will be for us to answer those questions as we are going. So we hope you are interactive with us and posting information in there. It's funny doing these webinars. We can't hear you. You can only hear us. So any type of interaction comes in through what's posted in those questions there. So let's go over the agenda. This is what we're going to cover today. So we're going to go through, Paige is going to do a demonstration kind of navigating how Strive PD works. This would be a great tool for you to share with your staff if you're having people who are kind of struggling with the new interface of Strive. The next few minutes after we cover this slide will be Paige showing how to navigate Strive professional development from the user end. And included in that, she's going to show the new tab views that are in the professional development tab. And then I'm going to go through some of the background of the PD importer that came out last year. That's the tool for importing maybe outside credits that are like a vendor. If you have a vendor that did your compliance training and it's all tracked in that system, the PD importer will let you import that into the system. Enrollment import is something new that I'm telling you you're going to love. And then we'll talk about the difference between the two, of when you would use one over the other. We're going to show a little bit of some Strive changes to the face, called the facelift, just little things that are going to be changing. And then I'm going to lead a discussion about what's the plan for when workshop goes away. So we're going to talk about that. And then Paige will share other upcoming information, some really cool information coming your way. So this is one of those that we want you to stay through the whole thing. If you do have to leave early, just know because you registered for the webinar, you'll get an email at the end of the day that'll have the link to the recorded session. So again, we thank you for being live with us. We also thank you if you're watching this at a later event or time. All right, Paige, are you ready? I'm going to hand off to you so you can do your part. I can't hear you, but that doesn't mean. Or Paige, did you already take control? Let me ask you that. There you go.
Okay. Sorry, it wouldn't let me click through and unmute myself. So I am going to take control now. I was fighting with my microphone.
It's always something when we do these live.
I know, there's always something. All right, so hopefully you're seeing my screen now. And
Yes.
I'm going to jump into the live side and log in. So I'm logged in as a teacher, and this is where it's always since Strive first launched, it's landed on this evaluations tab. Well, actually, it landed on the goals tab for a while, and then we moved it over to the evaluations tab because that's where your teachers are going to spend most of their time. So whatever your process is, whatever steps you have, whatever tasks you have, that's what you should be seeing here in the list. If any of you are at a district where when your teachers go to the screen, it just says default step and default task, then you need to send an email to training@eduphoria.net. We'll send you some resources and talk about how you can set up your evaluation process so that your teachers and your appraisers can get more out of the system and know exactly what it is that they need to do. But today we're talking about professional development, so I'm going to go to the professional development tab up at the top, and this is what they see. Now, a lot of your teachers have probably been going into Strive for a while now because it's been available to them. They've had that landing page where they could go in and say they wanted to go ahead to Strive or they wanted to stay where they were because they felt safe. But this is what it's going to look like in Strive, what it does look like now in Strive. And so I want to talk about the things that are different. In Workshop, the whole course list was right there on the main page. But now what's going to be on the main page is what you're enrolled in. And currently I'm not enrolled in anything, so I have a blank screen. Over on the left-hand side, there's a tab that says Available Courses. And when I click on Available Courses, then I'm going to see the catalog for my district. So all of the courses that you have set up in your district are going to be here on this screen rather than on that main screen. We want them to focus on what they are working on, so that's going to be the default screen. Registration is very simple. When you find a course that you're interested in, there's going to be a register button. It'll tell you what credits you're going to receive for that course before you register for it. If I'm looking for something specific, I could come down and say, I'm really looking for a course that's related to the subject I teach, which is English Language Arts. So I'm going to click on ELAR and it's going to narrow it down and search just for courses in that subject area. I could also look for specific credit types. So if I was looking for technology credits, I could narrow it down that way. So I have lots of different ways that I can search. I can even come down and say, I want to, I wrote my goal related to communication. So I'm looking for courses that are specifically tagged to that dimension in T-TESS. So I can use that search to help me find professional development that's specifically related to the goal that I set for myself in the system. So I can search by any of those options. I can also search by course type. So if I wanted to see only standard courses, I could narrow it down to those face-to-face courses. If I want to see only e-courses, I could list that, or if I want to see all of them together, I can choose that. I can also say evenings only. So a lot of the courses that I have in the system right now are during the day courses. And if my campus says I can't get a sub, then I may be looking just for those evening courses. So those are all options that you can use to search, and that search or filter engine is over here on the right-hand side. I can also type in a keyword at the top. So if I was looking for behavior courses, I can type in the word behavior and it's going to narrow down to just the courses that use that word in the title somewhere. That's going to also help me find courses for what I'm looking for specifically. So all of that filters and searches over here on the right is hopefully to help them find the courses that they need and be able to register for them. Once I find a course that I want, again, I'm just going to click on that register button and it asks me if I'm sure, and I say, yes, I want to register. And so now I'm registered for that course. I could register for a couple of different things. So maybe I also want to take Chromebook Basics. I will register for that one. And I'm going to register for this one because it's another face-to-face course. So I'll click on that. So I've now registered for 3 courses. I'm still on the available courses screen though. So I'm still in the catalog. I'm not seeing my registrations because I'm in the catalog, which has the little book icon over here. If I want to see what I just registered for or all of my professional development work, I need to go back to my personal view up at the top. And again, well, actually, it did take me straight to the professional development tab, which is good. So this tab is going to show me the things that I just registered for, and I'm going to be able to see the date of the course and what kind of course it is. So I know that this one is an e-course. I registered for it today, but I can see, the course does not have an end date if it's an e-course. So I can start it right now. These two I registered today also, but this course has a specific date that I have to be there because it's a standard face-to-face course. So it puts that date on there instead of the date that I registered. Tells me the type of course, tells me if I have a survey required, and that's important because remember, if the survey is required, you don't get credit for the course if you don't take the survey. That's part of the required part. So it's important for you to be able to see that here on this screen and know that you have to do that part. It also is going to tell me my status. Right now I have registered for all three. Two of them are face-to-face and haven't happened yet. One of them is an e-course and I haven't started it yet, so I'm still in the registered status for all of them. When I take the course, then I will have a status change there, and then I'll be granted credit by whoever is taking attendance for that course, and my status will change to the credit earned, and then I will have a number of credits listed here beside my status. Right now I don't have any credits earned because I haven't done anything on my courses yet. From here, I can click on the course title and go in and get more information about that course. So I can see the details of that course. I can look and see if there are any instructor notes I need to read. I have a place where I can take my notes. None of this is new. This was all part of the workshop interface, but I just wanted you to see that you can still get to all of those things by clicking on that course name over here. And then there were two things that I could do. I could come over here and unregister for the course, or I can just come over here to the right and click there to unregister. So either one of those will work. And then I can view the details by clicking on the eye or by clicking on the title. So that the eyeball stands for view. So I can either view here or with the title. I can either delete here, or when I have the view open, I can unregister there as well. For an e-course, I'm going to click here to view the details or click on the eye to view the details, either one. And then I would click on course content, and then I can start taking the course right now by saying I want to view that course. It's going to open up, and I would walk my way through the chapters, through whatever information is there. My little box is in the way. So after I have done what I need to do on that screen, I would click on my little blue arrow to move to the next chapter. And then I would do whatever it says for that one and move on to the next chapter. You just go walk your way through, read, and take the quizzes as they come up. And then when I am finished with that course, depending on how it's set up, if there's a quiz that automatically grades and grants credit, then I will see my credit. If it goes to someone, then it will show me as credit pending until that person goes in and gives me a grade and gives me credit for that course. So everything will be accessed from this screen here, which is under personal view, and I went to the professional development tab. I do want to talk about the four little buttons up in the upper right hand corner. I am right now on the current tab, so it's showing me everything that I'm currently enrolled in or currently working on. So I'm currently working, per se, on this e-course, and I'm enrolled in two courses that are coming up early next month. As soon as I complete one of these, then it's going to disappear from here. As soon as I'm granted credit, it's going to disappear from my current list, and it's going to go to my completed list. I don't have any in my completed right now because I haven't finished any of those courses. But two things determine when it disappears from current and shows up on completed. One is, do I have credit? So until I get credit, it's going to stay on the current page. And the second thing is the dates. So the date of the course, which is either the date you enrolled or the date of the face-to-face course, if it falls within the current school year and I have gotten credit, then it's going to move over to the completed tab. So this would be anything that's still on this year's list of professional development because it's still within the same school year, but I have received credit. Now, if I receive the credit, maybe someone just now got around to granting me credit for it, but I took the course last school year. Maybe I took the course in April, but they just now gave me my credit. It would skip this completed screen altogether and go to the history. So the history is going to be anything that you have in your portfolio from previous years. So whenever your professional development rolls over, which for most districts is in June, anything before June is going to go to the history tab. Anything current that I already have credit for, but it's in this school year, so anything I took this summer or in the last couple weeks would show up on my completed tab, and the things that I haven't yet gotten credit for are going to be on the current tab. So hopefully that's going to cut down on how much they're viewing at any one time, and they'll be able to see clearly, these are the ones I have coming up, these are the ones I've already finished, these are the ones that are already in my portfolio. If I need to add something to my portfolio, I went to a workshop outside my district, then I'm going to click on the Update Portfolio button. This is going to look familiar to you because this is still part of the old workshop interface, but I would do the same thing I did there, click on my portfolio and say I want to add a new entry. And then I'm going to walk through that little wizard to say that I attended an outside workshop at the service center, and I can write a description if I want to. Let's say I did it last week and it was a 6-hour course. I would come in and say that I want my 6 hours of SBEC, but at least 3 hours were technology. So I think that 3 of those should count as technology. That doesn't mean I'm getting 9 hours. 6 is what counts towards your total, but 3 would be for technology. And I would want to say the afternoon was all Google tools. That's why I'm asking for 3 hours of technology credit. And then I could come in and say that I believe, well, all professional development gets me a 4.3 check, but I think this is also going to pertain to classroom culture and maybe activities and knowledge of students. So those are things that I think also apply. And then I can, if I had district goals in the system, I could associate my district goals there. I don't have them in my demo ISD. And then if I received a certificate, I could go and choose the file wherever it is on my computer. And we're going to pretend like that's it right there. And I would attach, I could write a description of it if I want to and say that I'm finished. So that's a wizard very much. The colors are a little different, but it looks very much like it did previously. It's been requested and is pending approval, so it's going to show up in my history tab in my portfolio, but it's not. I'm not going to have credit for it at this particular point in time. But those tabs up there are how you would navigate through PD and how you would add to your portfolio. Joel, are there any questions about our little run through?
No questions I've seen that I haven't been able to answer.
Okay. Well, then I will turn it back over to you or let you steal it back and talk about the next items on the list.
All right. I'm going to take it.
Got it.
Okay. So, sorry, I'm having a little, there we go. So I'm going to talk about the importer. So last year we released this tool, which is the Professional Development Importer. It's a fantastic resource for bringing in any type of PD that might have been offered outside of your district. So like when I was a PD person in my district, we might have used something like EduHero was an example on here. Anything from our service center providers or any place where my teachers might have taken an online compliance course that wasn't part of workshop. So like There was the sheltered instruction training. Maybe there was some gifted and talented certification training that they receive from a place where I can go in as the PD person who managed that account, and I could extract a CSV file of who attended and what type of credit they received. And so whenever you're in this is inside of the settings, it's in workshop settings in Strive, it's under staff management, and it is the import custom data feature. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit there. Import custom data, and it lets you create a template to match the CSV file that you will be uploading into the system. And I wanted to show you what this looks like. So like a PD import for this type of data is really, make this bigger here for everybody to see. There we go. It's got the columns where it needs to match with email, which is your username for your staff that you're uploading. Then I went ahead and put in the event title in the system as well for whatever training they took. Like the Ron Clark story, I love that one. So it looks like it's some type of formula where it's online learning that my teachers have accessed. You don't have to put two dates. You don't have to do a start date and an end date. You could just have the date the training occurred. And then the column headers are to match your credit types. So in this case, I have an equivalency credit type, a GT update credit type, sheltered instruction, technology, and the SBEC credit types. And then for my teachers or my staff that I'm uploading who are going to receive the credit, I have their email address, that's their username. And for each one of these columns where they're going to receive the credit, I just put the numeric value for the credit that they need to receive. And so, for example, for this one, I'm going to use the Ron Clark story here. We have that teacher who attended this Ron Clark story is going to receive 2.5 equivalency credits and 2.5 SBEC credits, according to the spreadsheet. So if you have any type of credits that you're uploading into the PD importer, they can stretch across multiple credit types. It doesn't have to be just one credit type. And it can be one staff member tied to multiple courses, depending on what vendor you're using. I use the EduHero one because I had experience with that. I would have my staff attend multiple sessions that spread across multiple credit types. And then when I do the import, my spreadsheet is going to have each staff member's name, what they attended, and then the credits associated with what they attended. So in this spreadsheet as well, I have actually two staff members. Of course, our lists are all going to be different at the district level, but just to show quickly, so I can have as many staff members I need in whatever courses they've taken, and then the spread of the credits that they should receive for what was attended. And so in creating that importer and having that CSV file ready, when you complete and go through the setup to import these, it will match the columns to the needs of the database. Sorry, for some reason I'm choking. So, Paige, have there been any questions on this?
No, not on this one specifically.
Okay. And if
I know that didn't give you enough time to take a drink, did it? Sorry.
It's okay. No, it's all right. And we've done demos of this before, and we could show it at the end if we need to. I just know for time we may need to continue. But that's the import custom data feature. What we're going to be releasing soon, and this is maybe this is why I'm choking up, is I'm so excited about it. We're releasing what's called the enrollment importer. And the way this works is inside of your sessions, when you create courses, those of you that are administrating PD for your district, you're aware of this area. When I have a course that I've created, I have my attendees tab, and this is where I or someone has to go in and enroll staff if I'm needing to add people to a particular course instead of having them self-enroll. Again, this is a test right now, but it's coming soon. In the attendees tab for a course that's been created, like here, you'll see when I click enroll, you're probably familiar with the interface, but this is a new button that will be coming soon. And this will allow you to import a spreadsheet of attendees for a particular session that you've created in your Strive setup. So when you create courses, you'll be able to import a CSV file of attendees. And I hope there's a lot of whooping and hollering and good comments coming in about this.
There are quite a few smileys and exclamation points right now. Woohoo!
Excellent. Yes, that's what we want to hear, because that is like, when I saw this recently, I was just like, oh my gosh, I've wanted that forever. So again, this is where you'll be able to import. I have it actually in the slides just to show you, and we'll have these slides available. But when you're inside of a course that you have created, the first step is you'll click that enroll button. You'll click the import button. Then you'll be able to choose the file. And when you have the file ready, you click import. And then when it brings in your staff, it's going to list all the campuses and all the different buildings they belong to and their profile. You can still go in and deselect people if you realize, oops, I don't really need to enroll that person. And then you can click the enroll button and it will enroll them into the course. And just to show you how easy this is, the importer for that particular section is it's literally a spreadsheet that you create with one column. You pick. You can either have, it has to have the header, either the word email or the word username. Most districts, it's the same. So it's email and it's their email addresses, or it's username, it's their email addresses. But that is all you need in the CSV to enroll your attendees into that particular session, because it's tied to their profile. The email address is tied to how they log in and access their profile. So again,
can I throw one thing in there? We asked Shanna about this yesterday, and she told us that if your spreadsheet has more than that, it's okay, as long as you have one column that either says email or username and has that email address in it. You can have other columns. It's just not going to bring in anything except that email address, because all it's doing is enrolling them in the course.
Correct. Yes, and so this is where, again, it's just an easy way to import a group of users. This works for all types of courses. So any type of course that you have where it has the attendees tab, so that's your standard courses, that's also your e-courses. It's also if you have a course with multiple sessions, that import is part of the attendees tab and the enroll button. We're testing it now. It's going to be coming soon. And we'll be sure to share when that comes out, but it's very simple to use and it's a quick way to add all the people that you need for a session. And the key between them is like I think of using the PD importer for any type of sessions that take place outside of what you might offer in your district. And then the enrollment importer would be if you're managing a session in your district where your district is providing the CPE credit, or it's using your CPE code for certifying that credit, then this is where you would want to use that enroll tab. And then I think, Paige, you had a specific instance about that as well.
Yes, I was working with a district earlier this week, and I was telling them that this tool is going to solve their problem. And the problem was that human error, that they had created their own spreadsheet and were uploading it, and they after the upload found some mistakes. And the only way, if you're using the PD importer, to correct that would be to take back or revoke that import and then correct your spreadsheet and do the import again. And the question was, well, what if we have more mistakes that we find later? So depending on how you were using the system, if you enroll them and all you're doing is enrolling them in a course that you created, then I could go into the attendance side, go into attendees after they're imported. They're going to be regular attendees, and I could go in and delete one person, or if I put the wrong Shanna in there, I could delete that Shanna and add the right Shanna. I could make the corrections in the attendance side of Strive, not in my spreadsheet, and I wouldn't have to repeat that upload. So as Joel was saying, I see the PD importer as being for things that are already in some other system like EduHero, or possibly if you're taking the compliance courses from Region 11, I'm not sure if they have a spreadsheet export available to you or not, because I've not had a login to that. But if you have a way to go in and log into the system and create an export file of everybody who gets credit, then that would go in through the PD import, because I'm assuming that they had to log in, and so their username should be correct, and you wouldn't have the human error involved. But if you're doing something like everybody who came to a specific course during the summer, we didn't pre-register them, so I'm just going to have them sign in on this iPad with their email address, and then I'm going to upload it, that would be using the enroll importer. So you'd put them in, and then you could manage their attendance once they're in the system.
Perfect. All right, so that's going to be the enrollment importer, and again, that's going to be part of the attendance tab in Strive. Something else that is coming soon is a little bit of a facelift. So Strive itself, it's funny, like Paige and I, we do a lot of the online training materials. So whenever there's a facelift, it's like, oh, I got to redo all those screenshots. But this one I'm actually pretty excited about. So this is a view of what this will look like on the screen here that you should be seeing. And if you notice on the left, some of the navigation buttons have moved over onto the top toolbar. So this will be coming, I'm going to give it a few weeks before it's completely done, but it just is more in line with other applications that you might see. I call it the Google bar because it looks very similar to Google. So it looks like the help is going to go back up to the very top like it is in other applications. The waffle button, we call it, is similar to what other applications use to determine that this will take you to a home screen of some type. And then it's going to bring back the ability to log out on the top bar instead of having a button at the bottom there. Oh, for some reason, I'm just jumping ahead or behind. And you can see the colors change a little bit. It gives a better outline, and some of the icons are going to change just to more look like the kind of norm for those types of icons across other applications as well. So it's just, to me, it's a little bit of a cleaner look. I have another screenshot here to show. This is more for a mobile device. So based on your screen size, Strive changes a little bit. So for mobile devices, that left navigation panel will actually have a trigger button at the top left. And so on a mobile device, they'd have to click that for it to open the view for the navigation settings. So it opens up a little bit more real estate on the screen. And again, that top bar will have the views for accessing the logout button, accessing help, and the applications as well. But if you need to access the navigation panel, they'll have the 3 bars, click it, and it'll pull that over onto the view. Again, this is more of a mobile view. I just wanted to show how it will work in a mobile device as well. Okay, so let's talk about something that keeps popping up in our webinars. People want to know, when is workshop going away? And I just wanted to have a quick discussion about that. The answer is we don't have a set date for when workshop is going away. We did not want to do it at the start of school because, as I've said, we on the product team that have been helping with the development of Strive and Workshop, we are all former PD administrators for school districts. So we know that the start of school is a terrible time to take away the application that teachers are using to track their professional development. So originally the plan was that we were going to look around early part of September, but the real answer is we are not going to take workshop away until every feature, every ability in workshop is available in Strive. So we are not there yet, and it's not ready to go away. And we're not going to remove it until, again, every component, everything that your teachers can do, everything that your course administrators and instructors, everything that your PD administrators and principals, everything that they needed to do in workshop has to be working in Strive before it goes away. So just know it's not going away in a couple weeks. It's still going to be around. If you want to keep using workshop for now until you're acclimated and accustomed to using Strive, you have the time to do that. Any questions about that, Paige? Paige is muted.
Yes, I was muted again. No
Okay.
questions, just a thank you for not doing it at the beginning of school because
You're
people would
welcome.
freak out. So.
And that, it's funny because all of us know, is there really any time that PD not active in schools? No, it's
No,
always,
there's not a good time,
always, yeah.
but we need to get everybody settled in before we do any big changes. So.
Right. And Paige and I are on your team on this, and so we're going to make sure. I don't know why my slides keep moving. We're
But
going
I'm
to
glad.
make sure everything is going to be ready for you.
All
Do you
righty. Well, I'm going to
want
let you just drive. I don't want you to give it back to me. Just click over to the next screen and we'll talk about what's coming up. We have something very exciting to talk about, and that is our road show. You can see that Joel has created a logo for us. That's going to be our T-shirt design for our 1920 road tour, but the training team is taking it on the road, and so we're going to go around the state to 7 different cities and present a 2-day training opportunity for teachers, administrators, district eduphorians, any other staff that works with Eduphoria. We're going to have sessions for all different groups. We put the dates out there. There's an email coming soon, and by soon I've been told it's going out tomorrow. So if you're on our email blast list, you should be getting an email tomorrow announcing the roadshow, and it'll have a landing page that you can go to and see what the sessions are going to look like and all that. And then there will be a registration link for each one of the cities where you can go in and register. So if you have people in your district who you feel could benefit from that training, when that information comes out, please pass it around. Let everybody know. We'll be advertising in some other ways, but our email blast and our group with you guys is one of our best ways to communicate. So hopefully y'all will share that information out with people in your district.
All right, Paige, I want to say this about the roadshow.
Okay.
From a training and from a recipient of training, this is going to be quite different. So each session is going to be about 3.5 hours long. It's in depth on the topics.
It is hands-on. It is
It's
not like
hands-on.
it's not
Yes.
like the sessions at the service centers, which are like 45 minutes and they're more of a show and tell. This is going to be a deeper dive. It's going to be hands-on training. We are going to ask that participants bring a device so that they can access and be hands-on while they're in the room. But we will have a room set up where they will have a table and can put a laptop down and dig in and work on the applications.
Yeah. And so
So
we're
this is actually training. I can't
yeah.
say that the ESC offerings, which are great, and they show a lot of things that you didn't know it could do, but they're not what I would call training. This is really training because you're going to be hands-on and learning more than you can learn in a 45-minute session.
And I know there's several of you saying Corpus Christi is misspelled. We are sorry for that. We will fix that.
Oh,
But
sorry.
just to let you know,
That's okay.
I didn't
That's
want to say
me. I
anything
did
to
it.
you.
I did not
And others are
spell
asking
check.
when we're coming to their cities. So this is the first time we've been tasked with doing this type of thing. If there's interest in it beyond what we have here, then of course we would consider expanding it. But we have an incredible partnership with our ESC partners. I really love going to the ESC events. I like to not
I
only
do
see
too.
all the participants there, but I also like seeing our ESC partners, which we are very friendly with. We have a good time with them. This is like in addition. So we're still going to be doing ESC events this year, but we are also expanding this to have more of the one-on-one time that we need with customers to have hands-on trainer to user experience and to connect that way. So right now it's just these major cities. We hope you can sign up to come to those cities and be part of it. If we're not in your local city, try to make plans to come to the roadshow. But again, the email will be coming out soon. It's going to link to a site. We're using Eventbrite, which is a system for processing payment faster. You can do it through credit card or through purchase order. So if it's something you're interested in doing, look for the email and start registering. I think we're gonna sell it pretty quick, I think, on some of these bigger cities. Very
All right,
excited.
so we're hoping to see y'all on the road when we're out and about
On the
this
road.
fall. That's right. We did joke about getting a big RV, but we're not really going to do that. Um,
I
but
like y'all, but I don't like y'all that much.
we do have some Wednesday webinars scheduled. In fact, we have webinars scheduled pretty far out, so you can go in and look what's coming up. But we just wanted to give a tease for the next few. The next Wednesday will be Lesson Planner Basics. We're going to talk about how to use the lesson planner. So if that's new for your district, or if you have new teachers that you would like to be able to show some things to, attend or get them to attend, we'll be having that one next. And then All About Goals will be coming up on September 4th. And we'll be talking about all the characteristics of our goal wizard and things that you can do in that system to write not just a goal, but good goals. And we'll be talking about professional and SLO goals. And then we have a Back to Basics teacher aware session on September 11th. So we're focusing here in the beginning on those early things that teachers need to do at the beginning of the year, getting their lesson planner set up and knowing how they can use their lesson planner, writing their goals and getting them ready to go to collect evidence and to keep track of everything throughout the year, and then setting up Aware and knowing how to look at the views there. So we've got a big focus here at the beginning on those things that teachers need at the beginning of the year. And we hope you'll tune into those as well.
All right, before we close, we do have a little bit of time, and I hope you'll just let me show a few extra things like bonus content. Is that okay? Paige, you all right with that?
It's okay with me, yeah.
I told Shanna I would show some of this stuff as well. So like just to go through everything that we went through today was really about professional development. These are just some miscellaneous potpourri items, if you will, that are new that we wanted to make sure you knew about and would share with your campuses. And I also want to show you something really cool that we've all been working on that should be coming soon as well. So first thing is in the campus view, so for your principals and appraisers who access the campus view, there's a new little button here. It's by the card list switch, and it is download appraisee type. And it's just a simple little quick button, and all it does is it downloads the appraisee data for the campus. So it's going to include in the spreadsheet, open it here, it's going to give me the appraisee's name, who their appraisee type, their appraiser, and then also that profile information for the staff member, which is their subjects and grade level. This would be important for if you're tracking waiver or if you have teachers on a type of cycle for their evaluation. This is something that can be quickly done by campus, and it will let you track who was waiver for this year versus what's going to be for next year. So it's just a way to kind of keep a running history by spreadsheet of the appraisee types and appraisers at each campus. And that button is active now, so your principals and those of you with campus view access will be able to see that. It's just this little down arrow button that's here on the screen. Something else that is new is inside the personal view. So whether it's inside of your own personal view, if you're viewing staff member evaluation data, we've always had this upload evidence button. There's a new feature which allows you to, based on the appraisee type, whenever you're uploading any type of documentation, you can now tag that documentation by the dimensions for that appraisee type. So in the example that I have here, I'm inside someone who is TPES principal, and if I'm going to add any other documentation that may not be part of the evaluation process, then I can enter in the title for what that information is. I can select the file, and then I can tag by the dimensions. And that means this information will also show up in the summative panel when that evaluation takes place. And so as I'm looking at any type of documentation that's been uploaded, if or in my account, I uploaded it, I can go in and edit or delete that documentation. If I'm the appraiser and I'm looking at it as a teacher and the appraiser uploaded it, they will not be able to delete that information because their appraiser uploaded it. But if they uploaded it and tagged it, the owner can delete that information. So that's in the evaluations tab. Any questions coming in about that page? Woohoos? Anything?
A couple of questions. Well,
Okay.
not anything that I'm not answering, so we're okay.
Okay.
I'm just a little behind on answering.
The last thing I want to show you is coming. We're hoping to get it out to you very soon, but we're still working on some of the features of it. And this is called Eddie Helps. And it's always in our interest to create ideas for ways on making help easier for you and your staff to access. And so what I'd like to do is kind of show you what this looks like. I'm hoping I can get my little profile thing to work here. And Eddie Helps is going to put our help inside the applications so that people can use help while they're actually in the application itself instead of having to click to go outside of help. Eddie Helps is going to appear on the right side of the screen. You can see way over here. We made it like a pinkish purplish color that will appear. And what will happen inside of here is based on your role. So in this case, I'm an appraiser. So I can see there's a help document here for how am I going to select my appraisees. And when you click on it, it literally will put the help pop-ups on the screen so that whoever is using will be able to click those items and follow step by step through the help. I'm showing this to you because we want to get the word out there about this appearing soon. All of the initial start of school help topics for Strive, Forethought, and Aware are built and will be in the system for your teachers and for your principals to access. We don't have everything done. We're going to be adding to it as we go, but just know that our help articles are still going to be in the same place. You can still access help. It'll take you out to our other application where our help articles are. But if you're inside of the application itself, you'll be able to click this Eddie Helps section over here, and then it's literally going to do the step-by-step to help you go and see how to use the application inside the actual application. So we're very excited about this. It's been a lot.
Joel, I just lost your audio.
Of work on our entire training team page.
Can you hear me?
Did you lose me?
I did lose you for
I
a
can hear
second there.
you.
Okay, well, I couldn't hear you for a
Oh,
second,
that's
but now you're
scary.
back.
Oh,
Just an FYI, there's a
okay.
big old woohoo and I love Eddie's help in there, so I knew you'd be happy
Excellent.
to hear about that. We think it's going to be a big help to your users, and we're looking forward to getting that out there for everybody.
Yeah. And the part you missed is I was just saying it's been a great team effort. Our entire training team has been working on this. We're going to continue to add to it as we go.
Yes.
Right now, we'll just have the start of school, just some select features for start of school as we roll this out. But for all of your users, that Eddie help will be on the side and they can access there. There also may be a little clipboard that appears on the right side of specific tasks that should be completed at the start of school that will walk them through each of those tasks. So,
And as Joel said, we're planning to continue building on this, and we do have a list of things that we want to add. But if there's a specific issue that you're seeing in your district that people are asking how to do it all the time, or you're constantly having to show people, if you will send that to training@eduphoria.net, we would love to know.
yes, absolutely. And there's another strategy inside of this. So when someone does complete a walkthrough, or and the technical term that we use is a flow, a training flow, it will ask for any comments, any feedback. It says, was this a good walkthrough?
Was it helpful? Yeah.
Yeah, but is this a helpful walkthrough? And if you say yes, it's like, great, done. If you say no, it's going to pop up a comment window. So we're going to take that feedback into consideration as we build it out, look at the data, we can analyze how people are interacting. It's really going to be cool. And so we're very, very, very excited about that. Even when it doesn't work, right, Paige?
Yeah. Even when we're having trouble learning because we're old, we're very excited about what it's going to do in the end.
Correct. That excitement just rolls over all the frustration like a
Oh, yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm glad we got to show that. That was a lot of cool stuff that we were able to talk about and make sure we fit all the little pieces in there. I saw someone say, "Well, the help webpage go away." No, that help section, all those articles that are over in the other side that have the walkthroughs with the screenshots and all that, that will still be intact. We're still going to update online help. We're still going to update these walkthrough Eddie helps. There's a little bit of where the two will connect. That's going to be really cool because it'll have like a slideshow embedded in a help article. And if you're looking at the slideshow and you click this little button, it'll open up where you are in the help section right in the application. So cool. I'm nerding out over it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'll get to demo that later. I'll talk about that later. All right, y'all. If y'all have questions, let us know at training@eduphoria.net. We do thank you for joining us. We know it is the start of school. It's crazy, crazy busy. We hope that your start of school has been fantastic. If it's happened, if it has not happened yet, we wish you tremendous success this year. And do let us know how we can help you.
Thank
Bye,
you and
Paige.
have a great afternoon.
Bye, Paige.
Bye.